Automotive Anonymous, and that's the 2022 Subaru WRX, generously borrowed by Twin Falls Subaru in Southern Idaho. I'll link it below. Check them out. They're good people to work with. It's a little bit below MSRP. This is an all-new model year for 2022. It's the second generation since the Subaru got its own platform. It's in the famous World Rally Blue, which I think is the best color to get if you're going to get a WRX. And it's really good. We're going to start with a walk-around review, go over the specs, do some initial driving impressions, and I'll show you what it does 0 to 60 with the GPS. And if you like my video, please consider commenting, subscribing, and liking to help the channel grow. Otherwise, guys, let's get right into it. The vehicle is about 15 feet long, 6 feet wide, and just under 5 feet tall. It has a 16.6 gallon tank, meaning that getting about 26 on the highway, you can go up to about 430 miles if you're very conservative. It has 5.4 inches of ground clearance, so it's pretty adequate for what it is, being a rally car. And it looks dang good with that hood scoop. This refresh model, some people have mixed opinions on, so let's start with one of those thoughts, the cladding. It's kind of interesting. Subaru wants to put cladding on every model that it has these days, at least that are its own model. So the WRX gets this new wheel arch cladding. It's kind of funny though, is the BRZ that's co-parented with Toyota. It's like the mom that doesn't let her kid leave the house without a certain outfit on. Well, that's what the BRZ gets. It doesn't get cladding, but dad won on the WRX, it gets cladding. Anyways, what the Premium has is this is a Premium. It's the second trim level of the 4, starting with the base at $29,000, the Premium, and then above this would be the Limited and the GT. It gets heated seats, it gets the 11.6 inch display, it gets LED fog lights, it gets keyless access with push button start. The thing it doesn't have though is it doesn't have the power moonroof option, but it has a couple other little goodies inside. Otherwise, let's get right into it. The wheels, they are a 245/40/18, but it's on a summer performance tire, so if you live in a cold climate, you're probably going to need to switch those out unless it's parked in the garage. Painted side mirrors, they look really good. And let's get right into the interior. Pretty standard looking door panel, nothing too fancy here. It's more than big enough for a hand. You have a bottle and you have some more room down there. Nothing on the door sill plate. Cloth seats, they look really good for weight savings. They are manually adjusted recline and then slide forward and back. Red WRX is a nice accent, and then the aluminum foot pedals, and there it is, there's the 3 foot pedals. Top rate that manual transmission. Let's set in the car. You have a couple controls on the left of the steering wheel. You of course have the hood release down here, fuse box cover right there. Red needles and flat bottom steering wheel, looks really good. We're in neutral, so let's fire it up. Very nice. 11.6 inch display. If you plug in with the USB, you do have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Otherwise, you have a nice storage that's rubber matted down there. You of course have the 6-speed. This one has the upgraded STI short throw shifter. Manual e-brake, the way it should be. You have a penny holder, you have 2 cup holders, and then you have a small and kind of posterior or backwards pushed armrest. Has a 12-volt plug-in in there, but more than enough room for any pink slips you win in rally races or speeding tickets you get on public roads. Dimming mirror, but no home link on this one. And then just some LED upgraded lights up here. Let's get to the back and see how we fit. Wants to be locked. This is the key that you'll get. Door panel looks pretty typical Subaru. This soft touch material is pretty convenient. It feels good on the arm. It's not very big, but it does feel good. Bottle holder and some snacks. No map pocket. The red stitching follows the back. And then you can drop the 60/40 split seat like that, and it has the all-weather mats on the floor and the backs. Pretty cool. 5'11", not too bad. You get some plugins back here, some USBs, but no vents, no heated seats, nothing like that on this trim level. Some more plastic cladding on the back. And then that's where you'd screw in the eye bolt hole. Dual exhaust, that 5.4 inches of ground clearance. And we're gonna pop it. Pretty good. This one has the basic WRX mats back here, and then the privacy right there. It has 12.5 cubic feet of room, so not too bad. Nothing to write home about, but you're not really missing anything Subaru on the cargo cover. And then underneath, you have a fix-a-flat kit. You don't actually have a spare tire on this model. All right, let's drop the trunk. Nice little ducktail spoiler. Fuel tank on the passenger side. Again, those wheels look really good. That machine gray. To the back seat. Door panel, pretty much identical to the other side. You do get a map pocket, so the back passenger gets to be a backseat driver. And then the one passenger we do have on board is pretty comfortable. 2 cup holders. They're kind of shallow, but they are rubber lined. Let's see what the shotgun driver and passenger get. Identical to the driver's side, minus the control panel. For some reason, they don't want the passenger to have full control. Of course, manual controls for the seat adjustments for recline and slide. They feel really good. It's a little bit below the 34,000 and change MSRP. Locking glove box. It's a little bit bigger than the Outbacks. You can see you could fit a little bit more storage in there. In addition to the locking lug nuts and your books, you actually maybe could fit a pair of gloves. Kind of cool. Vents look really cool. And it's just overall a great looking vehicle. For having budget and economy in mind, Subaru did a great job on this platform. Let's pop the hood. See what the 2.4 liter looks like. There it is. There's the 2.4 turbo. New for 2022 in the WRX. This engine started in the Ascent in 2019 and it's trickled through the other Subaru turbo model lineups ever since. It's placed pretty high in the engine bay. For that reason, it has the black Subaru filter, which is shorter than the blue one. But starting with what else we know, coolant reservoir in the front windshield washer, takes 0W20 at the engine oil fill cap, brake reservoir, top mount intercooler does have some ducting to direct air to cool it down. Pretty cool feature. Dipstick on the left, alternator on the top, filter, all the ducting and baffling to get it cooled before it goes through the throttle body and then into the upper intake manifolds with the horizontally opposed boxer. What's cool about this one is the transmission looks different because it is that 6-speed. That should be in more models, but we'll take it for what we got in the WRX. It looks like it could easily be worked on if you were to do modifications or just general repairs, you know, years down the road. I don't think that would be that difficult with how well this engine sits in the engine bay. It does make 271 peak horse, 258 peak torque. So the numbers are slightly flipped from the other vehicles that this engine's offered in, just to make it more pure for the WRX experience. But it's pretty cool. Let's drop the hood. Let's take it for a drive. Initial driving impressions of the WRX is that it's firm but forgiving. You could have fun with it, with this car on a track, on a dirt road, or just on the street. The flat bottom steering wheel and the red stitching really make you feel like you're driving something special. It has a manual transmission, just the way God intended you to drive. Everything's really where you want it to be. It's very driver-centric. It's very easy to maneuver. Let's see if we can do a U-turn on this pretty average street. Not bad. The gauges look really good. You can actually see the peak boost, which so far it has hit 12.6 pounds in its lifetime, which is better than the 16 that the 2-liter was rated at. This engine's not having to work as hard as the FA20. Power comes on strong when boost kicks in. It's very smooth. You feel like you can take corners with a little bit of speed. And it stays pretty flat. Really not bad. The gearbox is easy to use. You could pretty easily tell where the clutch engagement point is, and then there's not rev hang like the last generation had. That was one of its notorious downfalls. The screen, it's the same 11.6 inch, where this is the premium. You don't have navigation. Everything else feels really good where it's at. Cup holders are good. The armrest placement is good. It's a little bit further back than maybe I would prefer, but I can't complain that much. The armrest, not bad. I think you're going to be engaged in the driving experience when you are driving a rally car like this, so I don't think you're missing a whole lot as far as some of those creature comforts that maybe the Limited or the GT have, or compared to other models. And the WRX really doesn't have much competition with the STI out of the way, and the Evo, that disappeared years ago. But we do have the Toyota GR Corolla coming back, and I think that's going to give this a good run for its money. Similarly priced, it starts a little bit more, but it also has more power, and that's out of a 3-cylinder. So those have yet to hit the lot. We'll see how they compare it, but otherwise I think the WRX is a bargain, especially where a premium like this is starting at about $34,000 with the options it has. Anyways guys, let's get to our road so we can do a 0 to 60. Keep in mind with that, we are at a little bit of altitude, and we're not gonna dump the clutch because that's not how normal people drive, and it's not good for the car. 0 to 60 in the 23 WRX. As mentioned, density altitude is about 2,500 feet, so we're down on power probably like 5%. We're going to see what it can do. Traction control is off, and like I mentioned, we'll go easy on the clutch, and then I'll tell you what it did in a true time, and then the way it would be rated without the foot of rollout. Reports 6.69 true seconds, which is pretty similar to the turbo Outbacks I've been driving recently. And then without the foot of rollout, it looks like 6.4. So that's not too bad given those circumstances. Yeah, if your weather conditions are a little bit better, if you were closer to sea level, and if you wanted to be abusive and drop the clutch, then sure, you could get another second and hit around the 5.3, 5.4 that these are typically rated at for the manual transmission. Anyways, let's get to the final thoughts. Final thoughts of this new WRX is that I think it's overall a very, very good value, especially in the Rally Blue if you're going to get one. That's definitely the color to get. But I don't know, guys, being behind the wheel of the all-new WRX, I feel pretty brave. With the symmetrical all-wheel drive, the manual gearbox, and just the right amount of power to stick it to its rally car roots, you may even feel invincible. But let's not forget that speed limits exist, cops are real, and you got to follow the laws, especially when you're on public roads. Be responsible. Despite it potentially looking like the last generation Honda Civic in the back, this new WRX platform is growing on me more and more every month. Pretty soon we might even miss this because we don't know what the next generation is going to look like. So if you're in the market for one, check it out. The link is below. And otherwise, if you guys enjoyed my video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing to help the channel grow. It really means a lot. There's gonna be a lot more Subaru stuff and just a lot more performance stuff in general. So until next time, guys, take care.